Very excited for the guest on the show today. For about the past 6 years, he's been killing it, building one of the largest dispensaries, not only in Las Vegas, Nevada, but the largest dispensary in the world. He's helped build relationships with some of your favorite entertainers, entrepreneurs, Ric Flair, Wiz Khalifa, Mike Tyson. I would like to welcome on the show Zach Brengman. How you doing, my guy?
Hey, appreciate the intro, Will. I'm doing great, man. How are you?
I'm good, bro. Thank you. Sorry, I'm looking back and forth from the page where I have my notes and the camera, trying to get as much eye contact with the camera as possible, bro. So bear with me.
Oh, you're golden, man. No worries.
No, so kind of tapping into it. I kind of want to get a background of your origin and how you started and what inspired you to get in cannabis, if you don't mind, Zach.
Yeah, absolutely, man. So I've actually been in the industry for 10 years now. So I started my journey in 2014. I had a buddy who started a delivery collective in San Diego back in 2014 when I was in college. And every summer I'd drive from Minnesota to San Diego about 32 hours, and I would stay on his couch and just work for his delivery collective. And it was an amazing experience, man. I absolutely fell in love. So I got to work a High Times Cup out there with him. I got to work the initial Chalice Cup. And just got really good experience and just fell in love with the industry. So I knew when I graduated college in Minnesota, I wanted to move to a legal state and just dive into the legal industry. And everything fell into place. And it's been a blast, man. It's been fun.
No, most definitely. Thank you for kind of getting into those details for me, Zach. One of the things that I kind of wanted to discuss about the start of your cannabis industry, I know you started off, if I'm not mistaken, as a cannabis consultant. Some of us call those bud tenders in the industry. I know you did that at Planet 13, which for those who aren't familiar, it is on Las Vegas Boulevard. Well, excuse me, it's kind of off the strip, but it is pretty much for us locals, it's on the strip. How was your experience starting off as a bud tender? Because I know the questions that you get asked, the demographic is very broad. So how was that experience as a bud tender for those who aren't tapped in that nature?
Man, it was a blast. Honestly, I loved it. So when I moved to Vegas in 2017, I actually started a dispensary right across the street. And I bud tended there for about a year and a half. And then I was pulling up to work one day and I saw a banner on the building across the street that said largest dispensary in the world coming soon. And I was like, you know what, I'm going to shoot my shot. And I got hired at Medizin, our sister company, 2 months before we opened the superstore Planet 13. And got to help open the doors there at Planet 2 months later, and bud tended for the first 2 years. And I absolutely loved it, man. So it's really nice because you really bridge the gap between the products and the consumers, and you get to be that education factor, So I'm teaching all these consumers about the products, indica, sativa, talking about terpenes, THC, the entourage effect, and all that good stuff. And it was really fun, man. I absolutely loved it. So I spent 2 years bud tending at Planet. I did about 1.4 million in sales as a bud tender myself, and sold tons of products to tons of consumers from all over the world. That's the nice thing about Planet 13 Vegas is demographics across the board. We're so heavily weighted with tourism. So I see people coming from all over the place. I've served grandparents, fresh kids who are 21 years old. Like, I've seen everything. So it's really cool to have that experience and be one of the people who's like introducing people to cannabis on like a large scale as well. So it was a blast, man. I absolutely loved it. Great place to start for sure.
So for those who aren't really aware, can you kind of elaborate on why Planet 13 is the largest dispensary? And I say that to say, when you think of a dispensary, you just think of a place where you can purchase your cannabis and your paraphernalia, your merch, and things in that nature. But Planet 13 is way more in depth than that. If you're in Las Vegas, which is the entertainment capital of the world, this is a place that you would want to go to. But can you kind of elaborate on what it entails, Zach?
Yeah, absolutely. So we are the largest dispensary in the world. We do have the title. The entire facility is 112,000 square feet, and we're still expanding. So we like to categorize ourselves as an entertainment complex that houses the world's largest dispensary, because we're not just a dispensary. We have a bar, we have a restaurant, we have a customer-facing production facility, we have a merchandise store, we just opened our tattoo shop, our consumption lounge, and then we just expanded our plaza. So we have like an event space back there as well, where we've had meet and greets with Mike Tyson, Allen Iverson, we had Pauly Shore's live podcast, we did a UFC press conference recently. So massive space, and there's a lot going on. A lot more than just cannabis. So yeah, largest in the world. And like I said, not just a dispensary, but an entertainment complex. So a lot of stuff in the future as well. We have Cannabition coming online soon here, which is going to be a massive cannabis museum. It's going to be one of the first like 2-level portions of Planet 13. It's going to be phenomenal. And that's still a little ways away, but they're working through it. And we still have one phase left, which I can't really talk about too much, but it's going to be big. We're definitely going to end it with a bang. So it's a massive, massive facility. If you guys haven't been, you got to pop in and check us out.
One of the things that I've been thinking about, Zach, is the growth of Planet 13 as a company, as a brand. And over the years, we've seen quite a few cannabis companies come and go over the years. What has Planet 13 done differently in the cannabis industry where a lot of other major companies are falling short?
Absolutely. So yeah, it's just the model, you know what I'm saying? Just the biggest and the baddest. We try to just go over the top with everything. So in our production facility, we have like, it's all about education, right? So it's all customer facing. There's massive glass windows. So you can see the whole process where they make our edibles, our vapes, our concentrates, our chocolates. And we just really lean into education. Just because we see so many tourists and all those consumers that are still like novice, new to cannabis, we love being like the friendly kind of new home to cannabis. So that in combination with just like our size and like everything that we're putting into it with the meet and greets, the events and the new partnerships and all the celebrity backed branding and stuff like that. We just want to be like the new hip, like crazy spot in town. And it's been going really well so far. So yeah, it's been fun, man. Definitely stepping out of the box and do a lot of different stuff. I don't know if there's any other dispensary in the world that has a bar, a restaurant, a tattoo shop. So just trying to get out the box. Like I said, just do something different.
And I'm going to be talking about the partnerships, and I see why you've been so busy, Zach. Most recently, you guys taken over, partnered with Exhale. Can you kind of elaborate on that? And for those who don't know, Exhale is a pretty large dispensary in Las Vegas. Great location. If I'm not mistaken, Zach, correct me if I'm wrong, it's the one right across the street from the Palms, correct?
That's correct.
Perfect.
Yep.
Perfect. So can you elaborate on what that partnership looks like and what that new addition to the Planet 13 brand looks like as well?
Yeah, absolutely. So in Las Vegas, we have Planet 13 Superstore. We have Medicine, our initial shop. That's more like the local spot. And then we just finished the acquisition with Exhale, as you mentioned. So it's going to be a little bit different demographic, whereas Medicine is mostly locals. Planet 13 is mostly tourists. This should be like pretty even, about 50-50 in my opinion. It's a beautiful space, beautiful spot. Like you mentioned, it's right by the Palms. It has a 24/7 drive-through. And it's going to be a new kind of fun location. It's going to be a little bit different from us. There's a lot of competition in the area, but we're excited to diversify, expand our portfolio, and really expand our footprint in the state of Nevada. So a lot of big things to come.
I'm looking forward to everything that Planet 13 is bringing to the city because thus far you guys haven't missed yet. Especially with the consumption lounge and then the tattoo shop, and then providing the tourists that opportunity to come see how edibles are made in person. So I'm just gonna say that in the country thus far, actually doing that. I was going to simplify it to Nevada, but I don't see that anywhere in the country. So hats off to you guys. But with that being said, Zach, partnerships, brother. I've seen another recent partnership with a UFC fighter. If I'm saying the name correctly, it's Marlon Vera, if I'm saying that correct.
Chino Vera.
What does Vera? Perfect. What does that partnership look like? What does that entail? If you don't mind, my man.
Yeah, absolutely. So like I said, we like to diversify, right? So we signed our first fighter. We're super excited about it. Chino Vera, huge name, great fighter. And essentially, just because we're trying to expand Planet 13 outside of cannabis, we started a brand called Planet 13 Lifestyle, which is our merchandise brand. So it's essentially, it's a new lifestyle brand where we can find different ways to promote Planet 13 without using cannabis, essentially backed by it. So we signed Chino Vera, first fighter under our portfolio, super excited about it, awesome guy. And it really helps with like advertising purposes and like different ways to get the Planet 13 name out there without it being tied to cannabis. It's essentially like a separate license, separate entity. So we do plan on signing more people. This is just the first one, and very big name and very excited about it. He's been great so far. Awesome partner.
Congratulations on that dope partnership. One that I've been really excited to talk to you about is the Wiz Khalifa Kush partnership with Planet 13. And for me, kind of giving like a little bit of background, being a fan of not just cannabis, but of the genetics and how it comes together, and understanding the genetics of the Khalifa Kush brand and the genetics itself, and how compound genetics put those together a few years ago. And it's dope to see it finally hitting the Nevada market. Can you tell me what that partnership with Planet 13 and Khalifa Kush looks like?
Absolutely. So I personally was very excited about this one myself. I've been a diehard fan of Wiz Khalifa for years. I mean, even before I started smoking, I would listen to his music and it almost influenced me to start smoking. He was a big name, and I honestly listened to him all the time. So I met the CEO of Khalifa Kush through a buddy when I was in LA, and ended up hanging out with him and just really caught up until we hit it off. And we talked through it, and they finished their old partnership in Nevada through a different cultivator, and they're looking to enter the market again. And it was just a match made in heaven with our building and everything we have going on, and we have a beautiful grow. We have a few of them in the state, and everything just fell into place, man. So I made the introduction from him to some of my VPs, brought them in for a tour, and really just kind of dove in and started growing their genetics. And it's one of the best things we've done in a long time. So it's been a phenomenal partnership. The flower is unbelievable. If you haven't tried it, definitely test it out. We've got Khalifa Kush, Khalifa Mints, and Violet Sky. And they've been three of the best-selling flowers as of recent. Can't keep them in stock. They're flying off the shelf. And we did launch our first Khalifa Kush store-in-store. It's the first Khalifa Kush store-in-store in Nevada. So essentially, they have a section in our dispensary that's fully branded Khalifa Kush, all the screens, all the Duratrans, the registers, and everything. So if you come in, you see like a Khalifa Kush mini store within our store, and it really gives them a footprint in the state of Nevada. And I was lucky enough to invite Wiz Khalifa in for the launch. I gave him a full tour of the dispensary, and he was blown away. It was so awesome. I mean, he's an idol of mine. So I bring him in the dispensary, and he's looking around. He's like, "This is a dispensary?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it sure is. And that's our consumption lounge. That's tattoo shop. That's the production facility." And, showed him the whole works and everything. And he was blown away. So we did a little meet and greet with him. You could purchase some KK from Wiz Khalifa, get a selfie with him, shake his hand and whatnot. And then after that, we went to the lounge and chopped it up, and he got to smoke some of the KK for the first time. And it was a dream, man. It's been really sweet.
Zach, I think it's really important to kind of touch on the fact that you brought one of the biggest partnerships, or assisted to bring one of the biggest partnerships to Nevada, off of just connecting with the right people at the right place at the right time. And outside looking in, you have a very cool job. You're with Ric Flair, you're with Mike Tyson, you're with Wiz Khalifa. And I think from an educational purpose, I feel like it's very important to show that even though I'm outside with your favorite celebrities, there's a lot of work behind the scenes that takes place for all these things to line up accordingly. You casually just said, "Yeah, I was with the Khalifa Kush CEO and we were hanging out and I brought him back to Vegas, and now look." It was probably a lot more steps within that process. Can you kind of talk about your actual role in what you do? Because it's not just pretty pictures and nightlife in Las Vegas.
Yeah, and I feel like everyone just really sees the glitz and glam, but man, it's a lot of work. So I get easily around 100 emails a day. I'm balancing about 100 different brands, and I'm the main point of contact for a lot of those brands with my senior buyer and assistant buyer in the shop. And it's a lot, man. A lot of running reports, a lot of looking at numbers, got to balance our margins, profit, revenue, got to report back to the executive team, and build a lot of relationships. And beyond that, there's so many SKUs in the store, and we have to purchase all those SKUs and maintain all that inventory. And I mean, when you have over 100 brands in the store and you're constantly selling out of this and that, you always have to, keep your eyes on it, keep your finger on the pulse. And then on top of that, I'm also overseeing our Medicine location, all the inventory over there. And now I'm going to be overseeing Exhale, the new location here as well. So, but yeah, it's a lot of work, man. It's a grind. That's the thing. A lot of people don't realize it, but a lot goes into it. There's a lot going on at all times. And it's never relaxing. I will say that. I definitely enjoy the slim times I do get to myself, and I enjoy the time off that I get. But it's a grind, man. It never stops. That's for sure.
So you've had the opportunity to assist some of the biggest cannabis consumers, some of the most notable celebrities. What would be some of your most notable experiences being in the cannabis industry thus far?
A lot of the cool people that I've been able to meet and just bump elbows with, like you mentioned. I mean, Mike Tyson comes in about 4 times a year. The last time he came in, I was super surprised. I got to chop it up with him. And he walked up to me and he's like, "How's it going, Zach?" And I was like, "Oh my gosh, Mike Tyson remembered my name." And yeah, like I said, Wiz Khalifa is my idol. So being able to like chop it up with him, give him a tour of the world's largest dispensary. I've been on the sales floor and bumped into like Pete Davidson. I've gotten really close with Joey Fatone. Last time Joey Fatone was out here, he's like, "Hey, I got extra tickets to see Chris Brown. You want to go?" And so I saw Chris Brown with Joey Fatone. I mean, it's been a lot of cool stuff. I mean, just living in Vegas, everyone comes out here eventually, and so many people consume cannabis, and so they all end up stopping in at some point in time. And I've had the privilege to meet a lot of really cool people, and it's put me in a really good position. And I just feel very like front facing, right? So I don't want to say I'm necessarily like the face of Planet 13, but I am like the main point of contact for a lot of our brands, a lot of the celebrities. And I've just really enjoyed the privilege that's given me to like meet all these people. So it's been an absolute blast, man. I'm loving it.
No, definitely, man. Just like I said, just someone who is a fan of cannabis myself, been in the cannabis industry and watching your growth and how you've been able to be consistent over the years and bring value every year is super dope to see, Zach. And I feel like it's very important to educate people because I remember years ago when I was looking for certain opportunities and I seen people had these super cool jobs and they were just all in social media, taking all the pictures, drinking all the cool stuff. But those positions come with hard work, relationships, value. And I think that should be elaborated on a lot more because like I said, outside looking in, Zach just outside smoking good weed with Wiz Khalifa. But it's hard to get this guy on the phone, guys. And it's not because he's busy smoking, but it's busy because he's overseeing so much stuff. And you make it look easy, brother, to say the least.
I appreciate that, man. It's definitely a grind. That's the thing. Like, just like you mentioned, you might see a lot of glitz and glam, but you don't see me in the office 8 hours a day with my head down with my senior buyer, my assistant buyer. We're constantly grinding, constantly working together. It's a team effort. It takes all of us. And we have a wonderful staff, and everyone plays their part, and they make it a little bit easier for me. But it's definitely a lot to balance. There's a lot going on. So, yeah, it's definitely a lot of work, but I love what I do at the end of the day, so I'll take it.
So during this show, Zach, I like to do like a smoke session portion of the show. And when I say smoke session, you don't have to smoke any flower, do any rosin. It just consuming a cannabis product that you feel comfortable with in that aspect. And for me, I'll start with myself today, Zach. I will be doing some rosin myself today. I got my hands on some Fidel's hash rosin, so I will be indulging in some of that today. And let me see here. Put that in. Maybe you can see, maybe you can't. But it's the cherries, the cranberry Z. So shout out to Fidel's for this. What are you consuming today, my guy?
Man, I got a few things here. So I didn't roll anything up. I just grabbed this after work, but I do got some Khalifa Kush here. Khalifa Mint's one of my favorite strains. Absolutely phenomenal. Great genetics. Came out super proper. Super fresh, and it just really gets me from A to B. So I started with that, and then I got two of my favorite Dreamland bars here, which are in-house chocolate bars. It's one of my personal favorites right here, the Dreamland Cereal Milk Series. So this actually has a white chocolate with Fruity Pebbles bits in it, and is absolutely phenomenal. So take a bite of this with you here.
Man.
And what are you going to smoke that rosin out of, my guy?
I got the Puffco, bro. I got the Puffco.
There you go.
Gotta do the Puffco. And it's super random. I've been using the OG glass that came with it because I have like a custom piece of glass, but I feel like the original glass rips better, honestly, bro.
There you go.
Super random, but yeah, I thought I would say that.
Yes. So tasty. One of my favorite chocolate bars. It's phenomenal.
And you said those are the haha bars?
Dreamland. Haha is the gummy line. Dreamland's a chocolate. And the chocolate, they're so good. It's so hard to just eat one piece. They're so tasty.
But they're all under the Planet 13 umbrella, correct?
Exactly. Yep. Yeah. Haha, Dreamland, Leaf and Vine, Trendy, Medizin. Bunch of good stuff.
Cheers to you, Zach. Thank you, brother.
Cheers. Now, I've met the Fidel team, but I've yet to consume any of it. I've heard it's super tasty. There you go.
One of the most consistent guys that's in the industry, in my opinion. We
go.
get the opportunity to consume a lot of different strands. But this is one of my favorites, bro. Honestly, one of my favorite cultivators.
Love it.
So while I'm doing this, I want to ask you another question. If I'm coming to Vegas and I stop by Planet 13, first time at Planet 13, I'm there for whatever reason people come to Las Vegas for, a bachelor party, bachelorette party, fight night, whatever it may be. I come to you, you just so happen to be the bud tender that day, great coincidence, perfect timing. I need an eighth, I need a pre-roll, I need 100-gram edibles, and I need a cartridge. What are you recommending that I leave the store with, Zach?
Man, there's so many good options. So being the largest dispensary in the world, we have just a massive variety of products here. But right off the bat, I'm just going to start with my favorite flower. If you're going to get an eighth, the Khalifa Mints, absolute gas, straight fire, great genetics. I believe this one is the KK crossed with the Gastropop. And just the flavor unmatched, potencies off the charts, great terpene content, just always a hitter. It's been so consistent for us. So for flower, I'd say that. For pre-roll, I would do probably our trendy solventless infused pre-roll. It's a 1 gram pre-roll infused with rosin, and always a hitter. Definitely love those guys. I would say from a cart, we just launched our new rosin disposables. It's a 0.5. It's like really tiny hardware. And just really, really good rosin inside there, and just very like discreet and like minimal, easy to take places. So that's definitely the go-to cart. We also just launched all the KK carts, all the KK concentrates. Was there another subcategory I was missing? That was flower, pre-roll.
Did we do edibles?
Oh, and then edibles. Man, that's tough. Honestly, man, I would just stick with this. This is my go-to chocolate bar. The Fruity Pebbles, white chocolate. Super, super tasty, man. It's always a hitter. It's good stuff. Love it.
No, that I can see why you selected every single one of those. I had a feeling anything Khalifa Kush was going to be your go-to flower, just off of general principle, because he just is that good. But yeah, I think you didn't miss on those selects. I have no questions regarding that. Now, I'm curious, and this is a conversation that I feel like that's currently specifically in the Nevada cannabis market, and I wanted your opinion. When it comes to rosin in Nevada, what's your opinion on the quality of rosin in Nevada?
So it's still somewhat of like a new subcategory for Nevada, right? I mean, I've been smoking rosin for years now, but there wasn't a whole lot of rosin in the market when I dove in, and now there's still like a select few that are in there. Obviously, I'm going to put ours up as one of the best. We do Medizin, trendy live rosin. It's all, bubble bags. We take bubble hash and squish that. So it's just very, very premium, top tier. Low yields, but very, very premium, high quality products. But it's still so new, so it's tough. I know in California, you have way more variety, a lot better price points. You guys have already hit that race to the bottom. You can get it for a good bang for the buck. Out here, it's still so new and still getting established and whatnot. But there's a few really good brands in the industry, and it's finally starting to come around. And as like a very high-end consumer, it's my go-to. I have a Puffco myself. I love smoking rosin. That's all I smoke, really. And it's just all about the solventless aspect. So there's no solvents in it. It's just clean. It's pure, great cannabis, and doesn't really get better than some good live rosin, you know what I'm saying? So if you want to smoke like literally the best of the best, it's going to be that top shelf live rosin. And we just launched a new one today, actually. our grape soda, and then we also recently launched our Cap Junkie, and they're phenomenal. And actually, you know what? I actually got some of that today as well. Forgot I even got this. Let me take a look. Let's see. Got a few different ones. Here's grape soda. Let me crack this open so you can see it here, because I've been wanting to smell this one too and see how it is. So grape soda. Here's the branding on there. Wow. Yeah, that is primo. Great color. Yep, great consistency, very fresh. Just dropped today. So as soon as we get off, I'm probably going to pack up a dab of this guy next. But yeah, man, I'm excited to see rosin come around a lot more. It's definitely about time. I think it's going to take over the market, whether it's in concentrates or vapes, fused pre-rolls, fused pre-roll packs. Rosin's the future, man. It's going to be fun.
I want to be very mindful of your time, Zach, so I just got like a couple more questions. But when it comes to Planet 13, what should we be looking for and looking out for in 2025?
Ooh, I can't talk about too much just because we are publicly traded and whatnot. There is going to be some new things coming out. There has been some whispers about the next expansion. I can't speak on it too much, but there might potentially I can't talk about it too much. I can't talk about Cannabition just because it has been announced and whatnot. So Cannabition's be like a massive cannabis museum. They used to have one on Fremont Street. I believe that was around 3,000 square feet. This will be close to like 13,000. So a lot bigger space, bigger, badder, the new version. And it's within the largest dispensary. Yep. And then the lounge just opened as well. So the lounge you guys got to check out. It's a crazy experience. So it's a speakeasy. So there's actually a telephone booth, and you walk through the telephone booth and you push through the wall and it opens up into a massive consumption lounge. And there's photo moments everywhere. We got bong chandeliers sponsored by Grav up there. You can get Puffcos, Zencos, bongs. You can get a student class. You can just get a joint, a can of cocktail, hang out and kick it. We do comedy nights in there. You can watch football in there. You can rent it out for private events, parties. And it's just the future of Vegas, where you can just consume on site and, go in, try a new product you haven't tried before, and then go out in the dispensary and purchase it yourself and then be on your way. So a lot of crazy experiences when you come inside Planet 13. And like I said, I can't talk too much about the expansions, but you guys are going to love them. They're coming soon.
Perfect. Yo, Zach, I'm excited for everything that you're working on specifically, and everything that Planet 13 is doing for the city of Nevada. Wow, rosin got me going crazy right now. Las Vegas, Nevada, in the cannabis industry. Thank you so much, Zach. And I'm super geeked, and this rosin got me slurring my words, brother.
Hey, I love to hear it. That's some good stuff. Well, next time you're around, definitely hit me up, come through. And if you want a full tour, I'll give you a celebrity tour and show you what's up. And if anyone else hasn't been to Planet 13, you got to come out, check us out, check out the lounge, check out the tattoo shop, the production facility, the bar, the restaurant, and obviously all the array of amazing products. And of course, can't miss that Khalifa Kush. So yeah, if anyone's in town, feel free to reach out. And I hope I see you there soon, Will.
Hey, Zach, I appreciate you, brother. And thank you so much for your time today. Don't work too hard and keep winning, brother.
My man, I appreciate you. You take it easy, all right?
Likewise, brother. Have a good day.
You too, man. See ya. Hey, Wiz, what do you think about Planet 13?
Dopest weed store, dispensary on the planet. It's an experience. You can walk in and see how your product is made. You can get Khalifa Kush here. Best of the best product ever. And it's a super chill place. Planet 13. It's where you should be.
Yeah.